Here we have a JLT 3.0 oil separator and install it on a 2013 Explorer Sport. Shouldn't take long. These are all the parts. You have the bracket, all your hoses with fittings, all pre-assembled, a 13mm socket. According to their instructions, that's the only tool you need. First, you got to remove your cover, which means you have to take off your oil cap, pull up on the cover, set it aside, make sure don't break it. Then you find the 13mm bolt right here, this one right here. That one has to be removed to mount the bracket. Once you have the bolt out, you mount the bracket. Looks like my ground cable may be slightly in the way. I'll have to adjust that. Basically, it mounts just like this, so that JLT is facing toward the front of the vehicle. You just screw it into the same hole. I'll have to loosen that bolt and change the angle on that from mine to clear. Okay, I had to move the angle on this ground strap. It was blocking the bracket from going down to the hole. Now, taking the original bolt, you just mount it here. And that will be the bracket that holds the oil separator catch can. Now that the bracket is mounted, you can see how it mounts here. By the way, the screw here that holds that grounding strap in place was an 8mm. And now you're going to use the supplied screws here for these two holes. Again, keeping JLT facing toward the front of the vehicle. You're going to drop it down in here like this and run the screws through there. Now at this point you need to remove your factory line, which is here. You pull this clip back on the back side of this hose. I'm trying to get a shot for you. Right here. And you just pull it back and pull it straight up. Same thing here on that hose. You pull up. A little harder than it sounds sometimes. To unlock it. It should just unlock. Hard to get your hands in there, but all right, starting back up. There's the lock there. I turned it over so you can see it once it's unlocked. See, it's just get some focus for you. A little clip like that. Pops right off, whole hose. Now, one little piece of advice. The two small screws here that hold the can in place, the hole doesn't quite line up perfect, and I knocked mine down and it fell. I have yet to find it. It didn't go all the way through. I'm going to hunt for it in a few moments. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and finish with the install. I believe these instructions are set up kind of generic, seeing as this catch can is made to go in the Explorer, the Flex, and the SHO. The AC lines may run a little different. The picture shows a little bit different bracket, a little bit different line. It says to go over this line and under this grounding strap that I had to move to get back here to this connection at the back, what they call the filter side to valve cover. I decided, going over this way, it had a lot of extra loop and had this connection in a bind. I moved it, ran under this line here, gave it a little curve. Now it holds it square. Now this line did run the way they said to, which was underneath the AC line and under this strap to that connection there. If I pull this back off, you can see the oil buildup there. That's what you're trying to keep out of your intake and out of your, basically out of your intercooler, out of your throttle body, out of your engine, because it causes problems. But it's all hooked up now. It's in place. Only thing left to do is reinstall the valve, the cover, and the oil filler cap, which is pretty much the reverse of what you did to begin with. Need to clean this thing. Got a lot of dust on it. It's dusty around here. Just line it up, which can be a little bit of a trick sometimes. Sometimes it goes right in place. Other times it doesn't quite line up perfect the first time. And just light pressure locks it back in place. You might have to do a little work with the hoses to get the valve, the cover to sit smooth and flush. Put your cap back on, and you're done. Other than now, I got to find the screw to put back in here. It's done. It's in place. Took me a Phillips head screwdriver, 8mm socket to move this screw here, this grounding strap, which was in my way. Just had to turn it a little, and a 13mm socket to remove that bolt. I'll have to do some maneuvering here to get this hose to sit in a position that doesn't put anything in the bind and keeps this cover from binding, which it does a pretty good job where it's at.